Oh, I hit record and I didn't intentionally mean to, but that is okay. We just have to get a little bit more light in the video. Actually, do I? Or is my messaging going to be the exact same if there was more lighting and it looked a little bit more appealing than if there wasn't? Is what I'm going to sit here and talk about going to be as impactful and as meaningful if I had good background lighting or not? Wow, that's something to think about. Anyway, the reason why I sat down here right now was to talk about how social media has destroyed my life. And I think it's safe to say that social media has been a big part of a lot of people's lives growing up, especially the people in Gen Z. I'm a 2001, so that means when I was going into kindergarten, there were already computers. We grew up with computers. We have always had internet or games, or my first social media account was a Google Plus account when I was 10, 11. Slowly from that, Google Plus went away, and we moved into Instagram and Snapchat and Tumblr, and we hard it. These are all platforms that I grew up on, especially Instagram, and then Vine, and then Musical.ly, which quickly turned into TikTok. I'm 24. I think I've spoken about it before, but spending 13 years on social media, 13 years is a long time. It is a long time to be sucked into the algorithm, to be influenced by other people that you do not know. These are people that are living their own lives, and what they post on Instagram or social media in general is not who they are in real life. And something that I have been really mindful about with 2025 and the things that I put out into the world and create is that I try to be my most genuine self that I can be, because there's so many people that are just not. You only show your highlight reel. Obviously, I do collect things that are meaningful and are important to me that are usually positives. And not saying that that part really has influenced my social media use. Influence that influencers have is very almost detrimental. I have lost so much just from spending time on my phone. This was most prevalent from probably like 15, I want to say, to like 21. I created content, if you could say it was that way back then. Can't even remember when I started making videos and wanting to share what I love with people. That was always seen in high school as a negative. If I posted on YouTube, the boys in the back of my social studies class were going to be watching it on full volume. I stopped because I was embarrassed, and I thought that it was weird because people made it feel like it was weird. So I didn't, and I didn't progress in the way that I maybe could have. I think that's a crazy thing. Just like high school pressure and just like bullying, it really impacts how you use the internet and how you use the internet. But I think that between social media and content creation, I have lost a lack of interest in things that have always interested me. I've always found a way to turn something into content, which is not what I want to do anymore. What I want to share on the internet and on my platforms is just me. I just want to share who I am. That can be me talking about books I'm reading, because I love to read. For a couple years, I was a book talker. I mean, I don't have a lot of followers on TikTok, but I do have over 1,000. Most of that came from book content. Quickly, TikTok has really taken over hobbies and has shifted the mindset from actually performing the hobbies to just curating your life around that hobby, which usually includes a very large investment of some sort, mostly monetary, but also your time, while you are trying to create content for these hobbies You have to do market research, and that is scrolling. That is going and trying to find people that are posting similar stuff, comparing your content to theirs, and if they have a video that did well, then ideally in that trend, you should be able to produce a similar video and have the same amount of traction. Anyway, this is not scripted. I was going to write some notes, but all I got to was how social media destroys my life. I wholeheartedly believe that going into 2026, the use on my phone is going to diminish a lot, and what I do post is only going to be reflections of who I am and who I want to be, and it's not going to be fake. It's not going to be disingenuous. Is it disingenuous or disingenuous? I don't remember. But what I want to provide people is just a different outlook on how you can use your phone in a different way and still be on social media, but not have it control your life, because it has taken away so many hours and days, literally days or years, which is bizarre. So posting content that relates to a hobby that I do love, and hobbies are for myself. I love to read. I truly do, and I said that before, but last year with me, or 2023 and 2024, I was very active on Book Talk, and I posted a lot about what I was reading and what I was buying, and it quickly became a cycle of what I was buying more than what I was reading. Now, I do like talking about the books that I'm reading, and I do like sharing that with people, but I don't find that it's as maybe impactful, because nobody wants to sit and listen to a 3-minute video of me talking about a book that I read. Like, truly, nobody wants to. I think the trend of hauls is a lot more viewed on Instagram and TikTok, because it's about the money that people are spending. It is not about the actual hobby anymore. It is about creating your perfect library. It's about setting your goals for the month. Oh, these 6 books I just bought, I'm gonna read this month. If you're actually reading them, it's maybe a little bit better, but there's a lot of times I am very guilty of this. Actually actively guilty, because I went to a bookstore today and I did buy some books, but I went to a used bookstore, so they're used, they're pre-loved, and I think that's okay. In my mind, I don't know when I'm going to read them, but they are also books that I've been looking for and like looking forward to reading for a while. So they're not just like random, I just bought them for the hype. They're books that I actually am interested in. So I think if you can find interest in what you're buying, if it's related to a hobby, that is the most important, because I, in 2020 or 2021, when everyone was on like their Colleen Hoover high, I bought like every Colleen Hoover book. Colleen Hoover got me back into reading, and I will say that It Ends With Us and It Starts With Us really got me back into like my adult reading. I have never read another book by her, because I don't like her work, and I found that she was just romanticizing domestic abuse, and we don't like that. I either donated or sold all of her other books that I had, but donating, I'm getting no return for what I invested into that book. If I sell it, I'm selling it for a lower price, so I also lose investment that I put into that book. So financially, it was not smart. There is that. I think a lot of that was pushed by social media and being a book talker and just being like, oh, this just came out, I need to buy it because I have to talk about it, or I need to read it like within 2 days of it coming out, because if I don't create content around this book as soon as I can, then other people will beat me to it, and by the time that I can talk about it, it'll be old news. That is so crazy that we can't even sit and enjoy something anymore because we are creating content around it. And I was just thinking that I'm actively crocheting a lot of things. Winter and the fall are just like my cozy hobby seasons. In the summer, I find myself just to be a little bit more outdoor. Not that I'm not going outside now, but I do find myself to be at home a little bit more in the fall and the winter. So I do connect back to like my cozier hobbies, like reading and crocheting and painting. I really do like those things, but when I'm sitting here crocheting, why is there something in the back of my head that's like, you should film this, you should post about this? No, you do not have to post about it. You can just do something because you enjoy it, and people don't need to know about it. People don't need to know exactly what you're doing at all times. And I've started to treat my Instagram page a little bit more as like a scrapbook, where I'm not posting daily. I was for a long time, but I'm not anymore. The things that I do post are intentional. I connect emotionally to the things that I'm doing, and it's not just random. It's not random. It's curated. Like, there's emotion behind it, and there's a story that goes with it. It's not just a photo. It's a photo of a day that I did this with this person, and it brings me back to that exact moment. You should start to view your content like this. I also hate the word content. I think it's a little bit silly. Now, influencers are creators or content creators. It's a whole thing, but I just don't like the word. I'm just taking photos and taking videos. I'm not creating content, and but that's just how you have to call it, because that's what people know it as. I just think that as we move into 2026 and as December comes to a close, it is very, very important to think about what is important to you and what isn't. And what isn't is sitting on your phone and watching reels. Think about all the days that you have missed, or the minutes that you have wasted on your phone rather than reading a book. You're like, oh, I don't have any time to pick up a new hobby. Actually, you do. If you think about it, 20 minutes a day is not that much, and 20 minutes a day for 14 days is going to create a hobby, and it's going to create a habit to want to do it. It trains your brain to wish for it and desire it. That being said, get off your phone. Go do something for yourself for 20 minutes. That's it, 20 minutes. After that, you can pick up your phone again, but I feel like once you get into the rhythm of doing something, you're not going to want to. This is just a little thought that I have, but I truly have so much more insight as I'm growing and as I'm getting older, and as my prefrontal cortex is developing. Like, I just feel a little bit more connected to myself and to the people around me and to nature. So I hope that this maybe resonated with anybody. I hope you guys have a great day, and when you do see me post, just know that it is genuine, because the internet just keeps getting worse. I want to leave you guys there. Just think about it, and if you resonate with this, let me know. And if you have any other thoughts, please let me know. I love having conversations about this, because I think it is very important as we age and as we kind of get closer to our mid and late 20s, that phone usage and social media really impacts us on a huge level. It is deeper than what it is. It impacts you emotionally. It rewires your brain, and sometimes you just have to take a step back. Yeah, that are my honest thoughts. Have a great night.